Hey everybody, it's Avery. Welcome back to the Leap of Faith podcast. I am so excited to have you guys here with me. I know that I've been MIA for a very long time, but I promise you it was with great reason. I am back here ready, willing, and able to do what I feel like the Lord has led me to do, which is just encourage you guys, pour into you what He's been pouring into me and what He's been speaking to my spirit as it encourages me. So, yeah, just let me just give you guys a quick recap of what's been popping. I don't recall what the last pod is that I made, but I know that I have attempted to make this comeback podcast so much times. And I can't tell you, like, guess those ones just do not feel right. I have not edited them. I did not watch them to even attempt to because it just wasn't feeling like it. So I am back now, and I really pray that this one is it. I tried while I was in Costa Rica. I tried before I left. I tried after, da da da. Like, but I'm back. So, quick recap. I got my CPA, and that was a very long, grueling process. I was doing it while doing my MBA. And the CPA exam, it was hard. I was supposed to, like, document the process, blah, blah, blah. But even that in itself, like, social media influencers, they deserve to get paid because I cannot. It's something I cannot subscribe to. It's a lot of work, and I can't say that I'm very much so interested in it. I'll have to pay somebody to do it. It's a chore to even scroll on social media. I really don't know how some people do it. But nevertheless, I did it within like 5 months, and then lost my stepfather, wasn't able to study for a little bit. I was studying for like 2 exams, the last part of it, because if you were an accountant and you were doing the CPA and you were following the evolution, you know that there was a cutoff time frame for when you had to complete the exams to not have to do the new evolved exams. And because they were doing new exams, the process went from waiting a few weeks for your exam scores to waiting about 6 months if you were waiting on a core exam, or 3 months if you were waiting on a discipline exam, because they introduced disciplines. And I know a lot of y'all don't know what I'm talking about, but nevertheless, just trying to explain it a little bit. So I ended up like trying to study for two at the same time still while doing my MBA and working full time. And I failed one for like 3 points, and I found out like a day after Christmas, and that sucked. I almost died. I was like, Lord, I know you ain't doing this to me. Nevertheless, I guess he was humbling me a little bit because I ain't gonna lie. I don't know how I was gonna act if I'd have passed out two of those big exams because that was FAR and reg. And if you was an accountant, you just know that those are the big deal exams. But I failed one by 3 points, but that hurt so bad. I wish it was like by 20 points or something, but by 3 points, I almost died. But those who mourn shall be comforted by the Lord. So he comforted me in my mourning of my stepfather and that exam, because all two of them was hurting simultaneously. But it's been almost a year now, and I could, smile and I can laugh, and I am encouraged in my spirit. Retook the exam like a month after. Had to wait plenty months to find out that I passed, and just barely because I still didn't study. I could not. I was devastated. I was burnt out. I was tired, and we're gonna talk about all that today. It was so much, so much working, doing exams, studying full time. Like it was having to deal with my son who was with me every day. And, it's, well, I have 3 kids, but one stays home with me all day, every day while I'm working. And it's, y'all, it was a lot. Anyway, in all of that, it was just a lot. I was feeling extremely overwhelmed. And I had to take a breather. Like, I ended up in Costa Rica. If you follow me on TikTok, I think I posted on TikTok. I don't know if I posted on anywhere else, but I ended up in Costa Rica for like a week, didn't know where I was going. And I just took that time to relax and catch myself and clear my head and figured out, where I wanted to go, what trajectory of my life, what the trajectory of my life would have been. Because at that point, it was like, I was unsure of what I wanted. I did not know what I was going to do. Having, passed the CB exam and still in my last semester of my MBA, I think I was. I just was like, is this what I want? Is this what I want? This is not what I want. Why am I doing this to myself? Why did I torture myself? And I know we all sometimes feel like that. Like, what are we doing? What is the purpose of this? What is the purpose of my life? Something that I thought I would enjoy, or something that I thought that I enjoyed, I do not enjoy so much anymore. And it wasn't really the thing that those things that made me feel that way, because honestly, I enjoy accounting. I would like to be a CPA. I am a CPA now. First of all, I am a certified public accountant licensed in the state of New Hampshire. Granted, I was trying to get licensed in New York, but they was taking very long. I still waiting on them. I don't know what they're doing. Y'all pray for them, because I don't know why they take so long. Nevertheless, all in all, in that, I think what else happened? We were staying in the Bahamas for like a month because we moved to New York. Not New York City though, upstate New York, close to Canada. And y'all, is cool. Like, if you know and you remember. Yeah, if you remember, I am from the Bahamas. I'm from, basically, the Bahamas is not part of the Caribbean, but we say that. But it's warm. We are not used to the cold. It don't snow there. It might hail, but it ain't freezing. So to be in that space and place, or in this space and place where it's freezing right now, it's cold, y'all. You see, but it's cold. This is not my forte. But all of that change, exams, well, not exams anymore, but school, exams, work, moving, being back in the Bahamas, and it's not as comfortable as it was back there. Having your own space and having your own car and being able to maneuver. Now, granted, when I go there, like, people do put me up and they give me vehicles, so I never really have a problem with that, but it's still not something that I used to. And I really got used to just being in AC all the time. And it's hot. Like, I don't like the cold, but I don't like the heat either. I prefer to be in a temperature that I can control, which will be cool. You know what I mean? Like, that's my preferred temperature. I don't know what's your preferred temperature, but hit it in the comments. Let me know what's your preferred temperature and where you from. You from the Caribbean? You from Europe? You from somewhere in America and it's cold? I don't know. Let me know where you from and let me know your preferred temperature and how you control that. Because, baby, the way the prices be pricing in the Bahamas, no, sir. We don't just be wasting AC. You'll cut the AC on in the night so you'll be comfortable going to sleep. But through the day, that should be off. And I'm normally home through the day because I work from home in the heat. So all of that to say, it was a lot. It was a lot. I feel like I went through so much transition in regards to friendships, in regards to people who were and are close to me, and just redefining what's I meant to some people and vice versa. Because sometimes we hold people to a higher regard than they hold us, and we treat people that better than they treat us. So it was like a lot of evaluation. While I was studying for my exams, I really was not in communication with a lot of people. I would go days without going on my phone, and I would like literally have my phone on do not disturb for the most part. And I really like that. I feel like that has set up the it basically set the groundwork right now for where I am at, because I used to be on my phone messaging everybody, I guess. And it's like I could go days without hearing from some people, and it's not to say that I'm upset with that, or hopefully they're not upset with me, but I have kind of conditioned myself to not be on my phone as much, idly speaking to people. Now, randomly, sometimes I guess I still might do that because, I ain't got no school no more. Sister's an MBA graduate. I ain't got to study no more. Sister's a CBA. And sometimes I just don't know what to do with myself. But it's so much that I need to do. And all in all, just trying to be led by God in doing that. So I have a lot planned. I have really put pen to paper and pedal to metal to bring you guys what thus said the Lord for me. So right now, I am this podcast isn't going to be like super deep. It's not going to be super much. just basically a recap of what's been happening and where I am right now. Like I said, I did go Costa Rica, y'all. That was so beautiful. Like the only thing I would say is their food. And if you're from Costa Rica, like please don't get mad at me, but y'all food just was not hitting. It was not. It was not. I was highly disappointed in every restaurant I went to, and only one, I like two places had good food. Everywhere else was like, what is this? What is this? I was crazy as I got my four wisdom teeth removed the day before I traveled there. Granted, I didn't know I was going, like I said. But y'all, Costa Rica, like, y'all step your food up. I don't know if you've been Costa Rica and you like their food, y'all let me know where y'all been. If I ever go back, I gonna have to try those places because the places that I've been to, I spent like a week in Jaco and like 2 days down in San Jose, I think that's what it is, or whatever the downtown area is. And then I had food. It was like one place in Jaco that had good food. It was like some shrimp tacos, like they were busting, and one place in the Central Supermarket inside like a soda, which is basically like restaurants that sell fast food, I guess. Now, their food was that food was seasoned like that. It tastes good. Everything else kind of tastes like water, or even fried fish I had from another store on downtown Haco, like the road. It tastes like nothing was in it. Like it was fresh, but it didn't taste like no salt, no pepper. And if you're from the Bahamas, you know that we have like our salt and pepper we mash up and we put it in with the sour. Yeah, the only seasoning on that was I think they gave me like an orange lime to go with it. And that was the only seasoning because that's all I had. And I don't feel like I should have to add salt and pepper to no food. But yeah, like what else happened? I've been to Germany. My husband went, like his work sent him off to Europe and even like Croatia and Switzerland and Germany. And I met him up for like a week. And that was an experience within itself. Like the weather wasn't like super bad. It was cool. It was cold. Yeah, it was cold. Like to the point. They didn't even have ACs in the rooms. I'm trying to figure out how is it in the summer. They didn't have ACs in the room. We could have just cracked the window and be freezing, like covering up with a blanket. But it was really nice to experience that. I have never been there. And I had a stopover in Turkey. Like, first of all, Turkey. Turkey. If you've been to Turkey and you've been to the airport in Istanbul, like, first of all, they have a whole luxury mall as the airport. A whole luxury mall. If you have never been, I encourage you to go. Like, I'm going to go so that I could come out of the airport. I didn't have enough time to go out of the airport, but I did have a great time in the airport, I would say that. What else happened for this year? Yeah, so relaunching business in regards to providing accounting services because that's something that I used to do in the Bahamas. So now offering that here in the US. So if you need any accountant, hit your save sis up and follow me on Avery ACPA. That's where you will get all-time nice business advice. So all in all, I think that's the recap for me. I've been paying for the subscription for my podcast for months and have not been doing anything. And that just randomly popped in my mind, like, girl, you better post something because you paying for it. But yeah, that's kind of a recap for me. And now I feel like I have a pretty good idea of direction as to where God would have me to go or where I should be. And that's, of course, because of praying and fasting. My husband and I fasted and we were like, we're fasting for direction. We're fasting for speed. We're fasting for grace and for our destiny. Help us to align with the will of God, like no more delay. And if you are experiencing the same, I would encourage you to do the same. And I just wanted to encourage you about something that I would have felt in my spirit today. I was making my coffee and I have one of those K-Pod machines. So I set it up and I just left it so the water could get hot and it could do what it needed to do. And I heard it finish, but I still was finishing up something before I get up. When I went there and I saw the cup, I was like, oh wow, I'm going to put a picture so you guys can see. But the cup was filled to the brim. And it's like one of those curved cups, but it didn't overflow. Nothing spilled, nothing waste. I heard God said, like, this is what I'm about to do to you. Like, I'm about to fill you to your capacity but not to your detriment, not to waste, not to overfill you. And I sat there and it's like, started to write something out, and basically ended up with, and I really hope this encourages you guys. God is ushering us into a season of divine fullness where He's preparing to fill us not to the point of breaking, but to the depths of our purpose. He's bringing us to the very edge of our capacity, expanding our spirits to hold more of His presence, more of His calling. This overflow is not for our detriment, but for the complete fulfillment of His plans within us. Prepare yourself. The time is now. And I was talking to a friend while I was making my coffee and while I saw all of that. And we were just talking, and she was telling me some stuff and, what she wanted and how she want God to do some things. And I'm like, yeah, it's so crazy because I explained the whole coffee thing to her, and I sent the photo of what I put to her because I put it on TikTok as well. And she's like, wow. And I was like, yeah, but with that, you have to be prepared. We can't just say, she was talking about finishing our business plan. I say, we can't just say we want to do these things and we want God to do these things. And when He does it, we're ill prepared or we're unprepared. You have to be prepared. It's one thing to be in position, but it's another thing to be prepared, because you don't want to be in position and not prepared, because what does that benefit you? Nothing at all. So that's my prayer for me. I hope if that's your prayer, comment, say, that is my prayer, Lord. Have me in position and have me prepared. Like, amen. Like, have me in position and have me prepared. Because we found, even in the Bible, so much people found themselves in a position to be blessed, but not prepared to be blessed. We hear, going back to the guy at the well, waiting for it to bubble up, and he said, oh, people keep passing him. Jesus came and He asked him, would you like to be healed? And he said, well, he can't. People keep coming. He giving excuses. Is that you today? I really hope it's not. But in the event, Jesus reiterated what He said, and He told him to pick up his bed and walk. He was prepared to pick up his bed and walk. He didn't give another excuse. He didn't say, okay, when somebody comes, I'll ask them to help me get up and pick up this bed. No, he got up. We have to be so strategic and so in tune with God and His Spirit and His voice to discern the times that He is in. Like, everything is in times and seasons, and we have to understand when we shift from a season of preparation into a season of, what word do I want to use? From a season of preparation into a season of pursue, because it's everything. Everything takes time, but when it's time to move, you have to be prepared to move. You have to be able to move. You have to be ready to move, and not moving out of step, moving as you hear Him. I was speaking to another friend of mine, and as I continue to see God's face as to what He would want me to do in order, because I feel like, not even I feel like, people, and many people, many prophets, I don't have an itchy ear. I don't go running to hear nothing from nobody. But when prophets see me, even people who I would not even know is a prophet, they would give me the same prophecy. Like, I have one line of prophecy I have never received. I'm gonna say never, but from most people, it's just basically that same line of prophecy in the same vein of the same thing. And with that, listen, I done lost my train of thought. Anyway, I have one line of prophecy. Yes, okay, that's what it is. And with that, it has something to do with entrepreneurship. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I believe I'm a high functional ADHD undiagnosed. I'm high functional ADHD undiagnosed. So I I am literally one of those people who can look you in your face and not hear nothing that you're saying and won't comprehend it. And then I'm also one of those people who would not be looking at your face and not paying attention. And I am following suit as to what is going on. And that's just is what it is. So all of that to say, like, I have a desire to do many things, which I feel like God placed in me. But I know that all, and I say 20 as an exaggeration, 20 of these things cannot be done at the same time. So I ask, I'm seeking God and I'm asking him, what should I do? What order should I do it? What do you need? What do you need me to do now? What do you need me to pick up? What do you need me to put down? And I was telling my friend, like, I'm just here trying to be still but not stagnant, because we know that that is a big difference. It's a very, very huge difference to be still waiting to hear from God as to what your next move is, but still working, still preparing, versus being stagnant where you're not doing anything. You're just there as if something is going to fall into your lap for you to work with or for you to do. So, all in all, this was just a catch up. And that happened today. I figured I would just give that to you guys to end on an encouraging note, because this, at the end of the day, is about God. It's not about me. So, whether I updated you guys or not, it didn't matter. But nevertheless, I hope that that was beneficial to you guys in some way, shape, or form. I'm not going to be super long today, but I do have episodes that are going to be coming out weekly. I have some amazing guests that are going to come in and speak to you guys. And I have some amazing topics that God would have placed on my heart for you guys there. So excited to see where this takes us. If you feel like this could be a blessing to anyone, share it to them, even if you just cut that part out. Because I mean, if they've never been here, they don't know what to expect from me. But that part, whatever part encourages you, share it with them. Yeah, so thank you guys so much. It feels good. I think this one is going to make it. It feels good to be back. And I pray that God continues to bless you guys, enlarge your territory, and give you all a serious dose of discernment so that you can be able to hear his face. All right? Remember, God loves you, and so do I. Bye.